thank you for being here at this TED Talk. I'm Jacob Beretta, and I'm very excited that I'm with you in this beautiful city of Vancouver, British Columbia. Now look at the skyline. Isn't it a beauty? However captivating this scene may be, behind those majestic skyscrapers lies a deeper meaning. One which is shaping our lives in ways we cannot afford to disregard. It talks about an ever-growing gap between the rich and the poor people living with Metro Vancouver. More than just numbers on paper. The divide acts as a strong force that affects our communities on a daily basis. So let's delve deeper. Envision a map of Metro Vancouver. Picture it as a living, breathing entity that has gone through immense changes in the last few decades. In 1970, almost 77% of our communities were middle-class comfort zones. But today tells a different story altogether. There has been a radical diminution in these demographic groups as low-income areas grow. Threefold from 10% to 29%. However, let's not focus too much on data, but think about this as a real life. The rich are drawn to downtown areas while causing property prices there to soar high that people with lower incomes are forced out into surrounding suburbs. Those neighborhoods like Burnaby, Richmond, and Surrey used to be thriving middle-class communities, but now have most of our poor residents. Rehum Ezell was University of Toronto's, he spoke, "Money buys you choice." Those who have wealth get to enjoy themselves within cities, whereas others end up living further away from work, opportunities, or essential faculties, such as hospitals. This is like a modern-day Game of Thrones, where being able to succeed is guaranteed for everyone. Historic context and policy shifts. All of a sudden, affordable housing was sidelined in favor of profit-based development. That is how we got here. Also in our story, zoning laws have been the enemy. The city has been made not affordable by strict zoning in wealthy areas, which has been worsening the lack of inexpensive housing nearby. People then find themselves living too far from their workplaces and places where they can access comforts, meaning they undergo pressure each day because of this action. So, who are the heroes living in these poor neighborhoods? They are an incredibly diverse group, while high income. Lots of these individuals are new immigrants who have just arrived in Canada with big dreams. However, many encounter such problems as discrimination based on their nationality, or the fact that they lack the Canadian experience, which results in them not being fully professionally engaged. Imagine an extremely well-rounded engineer working as an Uber driver, since his or her papers are not valid there. This is not only a talent misuse, but also a loss to everyone else, because he or she can do much more good damage than he or she is doing. Daily travel is really important. Now let's think about spending more than 1 hour in public transit to go to work and then do the same thing at the end of the day, going back home. For example, 17% of employees in high-income areas use public transportation, while in low-income neighborhoods, this percentage reaches to 26%. What are the consequences to this? Well, there are very serious consequences because it leads to worn-out mothers and fathers who have no time to spend with their kids, and the overall standard of living that can be described as really tough. The difficulty of navigating a car overall society is real challenging for seniors and recent immigrants, says Nalim Sahota of Diversity, Community Resources Society. A simple answer presents itself. A broader urban development scheme and more inclusive public transportation systems. Impacts and social cohesion of community life. There are just some other things that occur when individuals inhabit different environments. It is these same issues that lead to a lack of unity in society. When there is no mixing between people with diverse backgrounds, then there can't be any chance for them to learn about each other's cultures or traditions. This means we may not never have an understanding about our fellow human beings, as well as living separately also. Our most powerful weapons against this are community events and organizations. They bring people together, create shared experiences, and build bridges. Consider things like community gatherings and cultural festivals and neighborhood get-togethers. These aren't extra. They are necessary for an energetic society that includes everybody. They have to be nurtured. The bigger picture and future steps. It's not only a matter of money, but also fairness and humaneness. According to Andy Yan at SFU, being conflicted in certain areas make us less compassionate. Moreover, the belief in meritocracy, the idea of everyone can make it if they work hard enough, actually increases inequality because it ignores systemic obstacles that stand in the way of many people fulfilling their potential. Children who grow up in not-so-nice areas have fewer opportunities at that goal. They are provided with relatively little education worth having, healthcare, or after-school programs, which means it has a huge impact on their lives later. We're considering one answer now, UBI, or Universal Basic Income. Picture this. Every person is given a healthy wage, so they don't slip between the cracks. It's not such a bad idea considering improved mental states and better satisfaction at work, plus stability in finances. Further, it is essential to take note of community-based campaigns and more intelligent city programs. A good example in the program offered by Diversity, which provides volunteer diverse to seniors. These programs are locally centered, which have a great effect. However, there should be complete transformations in the system, such as an inexpensive housing, better transportation services, as well as encompassing zones, laws for Metro Vancouver to be fair for everyone. Education and advocacy. Education is a great balance for all of this, but this concept is often not as true as schools located in low-income areas are usually under-resourced compared in those in rich neighborhoods. Fair funding, together with other forms of assistance, can help level the ground for all learners. This support may come in various ways, including mentorship, programs, tutoring services, as well as extracurricular activities, among others. Advocacy is also important. Advocacy refers to the act of raising your voice, proposing the policy change, as well as supporting groups fighting for fair treatment. Inequality and division in Metro Vancouver is a big problem that we need to solve. It means we have the chance to fix it. Putting right the biases, systemic discrimination, meritocracy myth can help us do this. We should promote UBI and encourage community programs to create fairness and unity. We all need to work together so that no matter how much money someone makes, where they come from, each person can do well in this amazing city of Vancouver. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. I'm Jacob Beretta. Good night.